Here we go.
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze.
Okay.
Now, I don't
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. I go by the name Black Pegasus.
And it's your boy, Dom Wannabe, back in the house once again.
Now, I've done 2 Johnny Cash reactions. I've never heard this song before. I've never seen anything from this. Now, I've just heard the saying, "The Man in Black," and I've heard walk the line, right? Walk the line. I'll walk the line, right? But he has this more recent song called "Hurt" that I reacted to. And this is from me only knowing he has a song, "I Walk the Line," and hearing he's the Man in Black, right? So I react to that. It goes crazy. People are like, you have to check this, that, and the other. Then I checked out God Is Gonna Cut You Down, which is bonkers. And then people have been saying, yo, you need to check out A Boy Named Sue. I have never heard this, and I just thought it was an interesting title. Have you heard this joint before?
I recognize the song, so I can't say honestly it's a first-time reaction, but in a way it is a first-time reaction because it's kind of like, you know, sometimes when your wife is talking to you and you're like, yes, I'm listening, but you're not really listening. This is why I'm divorced, folks. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm hearing you, but, you know, you asked me, have I ever heard the song? And I was like, dude, A Boy Named Sue? No. I can relate because my name is Simone, so all the time people will be like, you know, my government name, they'd be like, isn't that a girl's name? So already I'm like, yo, this is real, A Boy Named Sue. When you asked me that, I was like, no, I've never heard it. Now, I recognize the tune, but I can't, because I've heard it like playing in the background at a dive bar or something like that. But I can't say that I've honestly listened. So it's kind of like, you know, me having a convo with my wife where I'm like, yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I'm hearing
listening.
you, but where's my sandwich?
Yes, exactly.
That's what I have to deal with, you guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. 40-year-old
boys are back in town. 40. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, y'all, let me get this logo down. Pull the video up. Don't forget, support the original content on the channel. I just dropped the new music video, Ugly Boys. It dropped December 4th, depending on when you watch this, featuring Anthony Ray. Check it out. Also did a food challenge and a couple other, you know, I try to release original content on the channel other than just reactions. When you support that, it helps me create more original stuff, which I want to lean into that. So appreciate you guys. Now, let's get into this. Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue. Now, I noticed when I started playing this, it was a little bit low. That's because it's probably an older recording. Now, this is live at San Quentin in 1969, which is kind of crazy. Isn't he known for an album that came out where he like performed a whole album in the jail? Was it San Quentin? Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought it was like Alcatraz or something. I don't know. I get lost with all these things.
Yeah, I know that is like a famous part of, you know, Johnny Cash's history is
performing at San Quentin.
Yeah.
Okay. This was San Francisco before it became Left Francisco.
Is San Quentin in San Francisco?
Isn't it in the Bay? San Quentin? No.
I mean, it's got sand in it, but I don't know if that means it's in San Francisco.
I don't know.
Bro, we are really showing our ignorance. Like, you don't know where San Quentin is?
I thought it was in the Bay. I could be wrong.
We're going to have to search it up.
I think it's
in
the
Bay. Let us know.
All right, Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue, 1969.
Alcatraz is in the Bay, brah.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of jails out there, right? Okay.
Alcatraz is an island.
Yeah, I know it's an island.
Apparently, there's great white sharks.
It's the Hawaii of jails.
Okay.
It's an island. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. All right, here we go. Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue, live at San Quentin, 1969.
Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table, dealing stud, sat the dirty, mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit it.
Bro, this is low-key crazy. Now, I'm sorry, you guys. It's massively low because it's
Yeah.
low for us in here, too. But look, y'all can see I got this B cranked. I was trying to see if I could crank it on here so they could hear it more, but whatever. Anyways, bro, he's going in. Imagine talking about this in front of, like, stone cold
Killers.
Yeah.
And they're just laughing.
They're like, yeah.
So that's what's crazy is that I recognize the pattern of this song, but I'm not like, like I said, it was literally like, I'll go to a dive bar to hang out with the homies or something. This is like playing in the background, but it's like background music.
Yeah.
I'm not like trying to break down the lyrics. And I was kind of joking because I'm like, being named Simone, like I used to legit get picked on all the time when I was a kid. So it's kind of funny that like all the while, even though this is like sitting in the background, I had no idea that's literally what the song is about, but I can relate. I know what he's talking about. I'm like, that son of a bitch named me. And my name is Spanish, so my dad doesn't name me. It's not a girl's name.
Yeah.
Right. But in school, that's what kids would always say. Isn't that a girl's name?
Yeah.
So I get it. I'm like, damn, Sue, I feel your pain, homie. Now, I didn't want to clap my dad, but this song is low-key kind of funny. It's like humorous and like fucked up.
Well, and you see how he's laughing? He's like, "You gonna die." Everyone's like,
exactly.
"Yeah." I'm like, this is wild.
The storytelling is just ridiculous. I can't believe I've never like really listened to this song.
Yo, low-key, I am mad. I'm in for Johnny Cash, bro.
He's
I
a real
low-key
one.
love this dude so far.
Yeah.
People are telling me a story like you're like, yo, you're gonna like him because he's like, I don't know, I don't want to say connected to the streets, but he's always kind of rooted for the underdog and the people in poverty. Like he's like the people's champ is what everyone says, and it's like
I know
that's
he
so
had a
cool
stint
to
with
see.
like drugs and so like he lived like a real life, like a
Yeah.
hard life. There's a lot of people I think that can talk about these subjects and they can write them down.
Yeah.
But they're not about that life. It's
Yeah.
like, you're not really from the streets. Like I think that's the thing with Johnny is that it's like he actually went through some of those trials and tribulations, addiction, heartbreak. So when he sings these songs, it's coming from a real place. I think he might have even gone to jail.
Let's go, JC, man. I'm here for this, JC.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and a gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun. I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me, and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. And I know I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name, and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong." Yeah. He said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue." Yeah, well, what did I do?
Bro, like this is so crazy. Hold on. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is incredible. I'm listening to the storytelling and I want to laugh, but for some reason I also want to cry.
Oh, I do too. I mean, this song resonates with me. I kind of like...
It's like, yo, son, I'm looking out for you. Like, I want you to be the best you can be, and I'm not going to be around. But this is going to make you tough. It's almost like some old kung fu flick where you're like, the kid is angry his whole life until he gets to the end and wins the final battle. And he's like, oh, I couldn't have won this without my father or my teacher doing this one thing that I hated them for. Because my parents, I remember, bro, when I didn't want to go to college, and they're like, then you got to pay rent at 18. And I was so angry they made me pay rent. But, bro, it made me become independent. And I started thinking differently bro, it helped me so much. But anyways, has nothing to do with this. It's not as hardcore as this. But this is just, I'm like, my mind's blown. I honestly don't know. I'm like, what the have I been doing my whole life where I haven't listened to Johnny Cash? I'm over here. It's like a whisper, too, the way it's coming in the speakers. And it still resonates so heavy on my soul. Like, this is crazy.
I'm tripping out because I honestly, like I said, I recognize the tune. There's something about the way that he's saying that's like, you know, unforgettable. But then at the same time, I'm like, how did I never listen to the gist of this song and understand what he's saying? And like, I am seeing my relationship with my father in this song, like in a very deep way. And, you know, when I hear the father's point of view, I'm like, you're a selfish bastard. Like that, you know what I mean? Because it's like, that's just what it is. And you're trying to explain it away. But then there's a part of me that's like, I see my dad in this because my dad kind of like, you know, disappeared for a time of my life. And I've had conversations with him because there's certain things he did as a father where I'm like, how could you do that? Yeah. Like I've had to have that heart-to-heart convo because now being a father, I would never do that. But in his own way, he's the father in this story that he did what he thought was the best to try and to teach me. And he came from a relationship with his dad that was almost non-existent.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can relate to both sides of this story because I understand, you know, to a degree where the dad was coming from. You know, he thought he was doing what was best for his son, but at the same time, he is a selfish bastard.
You know, the thing that tears me up the most about this is that I probably won't have a son in my life. That's what tears me up.
Yeah.
Hey, anyways, it's all gravy train. I love my daughter, but damn. You know what I mean? I could have named her Sue. It'll be all good.
There's highs and lows.
I want to raise a son, damn it. Anyways, it's all good. Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue. This is Flame,
Just
bro.
name your daughter Richard.
I tried to make it tough.
Yeah.
A girl done called her bluff, so I named you Richard, too. All right, let's go. Johnny Cash, A Boy Named Sue.
Me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue. Yeah, well, what could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun, called him a paw and he called me a son, and I come away with a different point of view.
And no ear.
And I think about him now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill or George, any damn thing but Sue.
Dude, that's a fucking banger.
Yo! Holy, oh my God. Dude, Johnny Cash is the...
Dude, I have to give my dad credit because, you know, there are certain things like, you know, there's always positive and negatives of everything. And I remember one day coming home crying because there was kids picking on me and they had been picking on me for like a long time. So I was like telling my dad, like, Dad, will you do something? You know, will you call the school? Or, you know, basically was like asking him to intervene and help because it was happening like almost every day. So my dad takes me aside, he looks me in the eye and he said, you got to make a choice right now. He's like, you either fight back or this is going to be the rest of your life. There's always going to be somebody that's going to pick on you. Right now it's kids, but one day it's going to be the police or the government. And if you don't fight back, then that will be the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I was like, damn, that's a crazy lesson to be telling, like, literally like a 10-year-old kid, like, damn, you got to fight the government and the police. You know what I mean? But the message was true. He was basically saying, like, you have to choose whether you're going to fight or whether you're going to be a victim.
Yeah, this is true.
So I went to school the next day, you know, or whenever, a couple days later, and the next time that they picked on me, I punched a kid in the mouth, and then that was it, you know? So, you know, my dad, you know, he was a lot of things.
He gave you the ism. Damn.
But he taught me to fight back.
Yo, shout out to Johnny Cash.
And he named me Simone.
Bro, this was a great, man. I just got to shut up for a second and just let him be great and just follow the trail, the breadcrumbs of Johnny Cash, because he's epic, man.
I mean, the song is genius. Like, I have to give the man credit because he's telling like this very deep story from two different sides of the coin, a resolution to that story, and then the humor mixed in throughout the song. And then at the end, he's like, and I'm going to name my son Billy or Johnny or anything but Sue. Like, dude, that's hilarious. It's like heartbreaking at moments and then hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, it's genius.
Anyways, you guys, we really enjoyed that one. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we missed. What did we get? And 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ, boy.